Hey, welcome to Craft Central Designs. My name is Dwynn, and in this tutorial, I'm going to share with you all how I made this beautiful rag wreath. As you can see, it has lots of color and dimension and visual interest. It has burlap ribbons and wired ribbons and fabric and burlap. It's just really chocked full of materials and visual interest. In case you're curious what that wreath was mounted on, it is my Wreath Easel, which I didn't actually use to make this wreath, but I do use it and have used it for many years to make evergreen wreaths or grapevine wreaths, certainly not deco mesh wreaths, but the other types of wreaths, I've made hundreds of wreaths on this easel. My son made it for me, and I call it my Wreath Easel. It's just amazing. You pull up a chair, put a little table next to you. You see the screw there where you hang the wreath on it, and you have your wreath right at eye level. And it makes such a difference in being able to visualize it as you make the wreath, how it's actually going to look on a door or on a wall. Okay, let's look at this materials that we need for this wreath. We have a 14-inch wire wreath form from Dollar Tree. This burlap is from Walmart. It's a nice, stiff, hardy burlap. All the pieces that go on this wreath are cut in 8-inch, whether it's ribbons or whether it's burlap or fabric. I ordered a lot of various burlap ribbons. As you're going to see, I have way more ribbon than I actually need, but I loved it because they are all different. And that's what I wanted for this wreath. Lots of visual interest, lots of texture, lots of pattern, lots of color. Here we have even some very narrow pieces, which I love on this wreath. Wide pieces, medium to wide, narrow, they all work on this wreath. As you can see, I have a crazy amount of burlap ribbon, but I love to have a lot of material when I make something. It just gives me a lot to choose from and elaborate on the design if I should choose to do so. As I said, all those burlap ribbons I got on Amazon, and as well I got this bundle of fabric strips, which I think is pretty cool. A lot of these are more good for Christmas, but I was able to use a few of them, the black and the red, some of the black and red. You'll see me use those later. Of course, you need a pair of scissors and a pack, which I prefer the burlap color because I like for everything to match as much as possible. And I even popped a few beads in the wreath, as you will maybe be able to see when you do a close-up of the wreath. All right, so I made a lot of bundles, actually around 26 bundles, all of them different, all of them constructed and stacked differently. I wanted all kinds of dimension and color and variety, so none of them are exactly alike. I only cut the pieces as I went along because I wanted to construct this wreath as I went and be able to put those bundles on and make sure that I was varying my colors, varying my textures, and creating the kind of visual interest I wanted for this wreath. I always put my burlap piece on the bottom. Again, everything is 8 inches. Some of these ribbons are wired, and the burlap, of course, is stiff. So this is really great because it helps to support those ribbons that are not wired or not stiff. So I bunched the burlap in my index finger and my thumb, and then I stacked the ribbons with my other hand, and I mixed it up. Every single one was different. Love that netted burlap ribbon in there. It looks so pretty. I like to put my smaller, more narrow pieces on the top. That way they don't get buried in the bundle. And we need our pipe cleaners, of course. Who could live without pipe cleaners? I love pipe cleaners. All right, or chenille stems, whatever you want to call them. So I just secure every bundle with a pipe cleaner cut in half. And that's how we're going to mount these bundles on our wire wreath form. We're going to use the middle 2 wires on this wreath form to mount the bundles. And as I said, I like to create my bundles as I go along, varying the color, varying the texture. I didn't cut many ribbons ahead. I kind of just cut them as I went along, as I chose how I wanted to construct each bundle. Again, you keep your burlap on the bottom. You can use it curled up toward you or curled under, because that burlap does curl up. It doesn't matter. You can actually vary it if you like. So I'm constructing, putting my stacks together. Smallest one on top always. Take a pipe cleaner, secure that. Again, making sure I'm varying my color. I actually, for the bundles, I did something with a red, and then the next bundle next to it would be something in black, either fabric or a wired ribbon, whatever the case may be. Now, I noticed that these were really loose on there, and I really wanted them nice and squashed together, if you will. So I took the pipe cleaner from the last one and attached it or anchored it to the one right next to it. That way it wasn't no longer moving around. Also, I wanted them pushed up nice and snug next to each other. So we had a really full wreath with no gaps. And there I am twisting the bundle on, but also I'm going to be securing it to the one right next to it. And I'm doing it right there. And that looks like I'm kind of obsessing over it right there, which is pretty much what I do with everything that I do. But that's me. I am a hopeless crafter. I absolutely adore making wreaths. So I've been doing it for many, many years for my family and friends and for clients. All right, you can see that I have half of it filled up right now. It's shaping up and is looking beautiful. One thing that I didn't mention earlier is that I do fray the ends of my burlap a little bit because I like that little ragged look there. So I just pull out a few of those, I guess you call them threads, on the burlap. So I did that on each piece. And again, make sure that your burlap is your bottom to your stack and everything else gets stacked on top of it. With your other hand, stack your layers, all being different. Every bundle should be different. This creates so much visual interest and variety in your wreath, and that's what really makes a wreath beautiful. Put it on top of there, scrunch it up in your fingers, and wrap your pipe cleaner around just like you did all the other bundles. Twist it in the back. And attach, just like you did all the other ones. Shaping up beautifully. And here we have all of the bundles on the wreath. I think there was about 26 bundles. I added another burlap ribbon on there because I wanted a little bit more red. That was also a ribbon that I got 75% off at Walmart. And then I also added these little wood chips on there. I don't know if you could see me pointing to it. Don't ask me. I don't know. I just felt like it it would look great with these little wood circles, which I got on Amazon. Okay, so I also added a few little beads. I just wanted so much texture on this wreath, and that's what I pretty much got. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. After you're all done putting your bundles on, you just fluff it up. That's one of the most fun parts. Here I have some beads, which I actually added a few beads around. You might be able to see. And there's that ribbon that I spoke of before. I wanted a little bit more red on there. This again was the ribbon that I got 75% off. It was in the Christmas section after Christmas at Walmart. And it's wired, so it was just another good supportive ribbon to hold all those other ribbons that don't have wire. Here's the wood rounds. Don't ask me. I sell them on Amazon. I love them. I just thought this wreath should have these little wood rounds, so I put them on there, and I think they looked really fabulous. I didn't put anything else on them. I didn't paint them. I just loved the wood. I just thought they were so pretty with the little kind of design around them. So I'm pointing there, letting you know I put them on there. Now, what I did with the ends of my ribbons is I kind of twisted them. These were the wired ribbons. You see me playing with them, but I kind of twisted them so they like turned this way and that way. Yeah, I thought it was just the prettiest ribbon to add to that wreath. And here you have a full-bodied wreath with 26 bundles. Okay, so here's the finished product. As you can see, I added a sign, which I found at Hobby Lobby, which was the perfect addition to this wreath. If you like what you see on my channel, please subscribe and leave your comments in the comment box below. Also, check out my Instagram page to see a lot of my previous projects. So, take care, everyone. Hope to see you again. Bye.